Farmer Jeffree Star had a lot to say this week, bringing up the past in one of his latest makeup reviews on TikTok, calling out both Mikayla and James Charles, and he wasn't stopping there. He was also reminding everyone about why he doesn't support Too Faced and why he hasn't for the longest time. There was a lot of shade being thrown around, and it all got turned back on him as well when Antonio Garza decided to post on her burner TikTok in response to what Jeffree had to say. It's feeling like beauty drama from 2018 or something, but it's all going down in 2024, so let's get into everything that's being said. Jeffree hasn't been doing makeup reviews on YouTube like he used to, but he has been posting them on Instagram and on TikTok. And recently, he got a lot of requests to review this foundation from a new brand called Polite Society. Mikayla recently reviewed it and she loved it, saying that if it lasted her all day, it would be her new favorite foundation. And people just needed to know if Mikayla was actually telling the truth in this video and if the foundation was really all that and more. And so they wanted to know if it was Jeffree Star approved. And Jeffree was certainly going to be giving his thoughts and opinions on this product, that's for sure. It's definitely not Jeffree Star approved, I'll say that. And it didn't even take Jeffree trying it to make that clear. So we may not know how well the product actually works, but Jeffree is certainly telling people not to support this brand. He decided to do some research on it and found out that he actually has beef with the brand owners. And it all stems back to this drama with Nikkie Tutorials and Too Faced that Shane and Jeffree had actually highlighted in their series that they did together. And so he was not holding back in this quote unquote review.
Okay, so this is a new brand. It's called Polite Society. It looks like an egg. Everyone has been begging and dying for me to try it. So I've never heard of this brand before. The packaging, kind of boring. You open it up and it says positivity behind beauty. Now, who is behind this brand and who are the owners? Let's take a peek. Okay, are y'all trying to set me up? I really think y'all were trying to set me up by making me try this. Not the former owners of Too Faced being the new owners of this brand. Of course, someone so hateful and awful would have a fake positive message inside their box. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so 2024, let's stick to our morals. This is not about drama, but years ago, Nikkie Tutorials did a collab with Too Faced. They made millions and millions of dollars off of her. She made $50K. They literally raked in the money, spit her out. I exposed it. This nightmare, the former owner of Too Faced, went on a full rampage. Him and his sister attacked me for months. I stopped using Too Faced on all of my social media. Estee Lauder bought Too Faced. They then asked him to shut the up, and they called him and silenced him, and they removed him off the board. Too Faced is now owned exclusively by Estee Lauder, so we decided to use it the other day. The blush is cute. He had nothing to do with it. Thank God, Estee Lauder, you woke up.
To refresh everyone's memory just a bit more, in part 2 of Shane and Jeffree's series, it was brought to light on a bigger scale that the palette that Nikkie Tutorials had created with Too Faced made about $10 million, and her payout was allegedly only $50,000. And that at one point, they had even allegedly changed the formula without her knowing, and it was such a mess. Now, in the series, this wasn't new information necessarily, as it had been sort of talked about that Nikkie got a bad brand deal when it came to her collab with Too Faced, and it seemed like there were different palettes of different quality being handed out at the time. Tati Westbrook back then, at the time of its release, reviewed the palette, and there was a lot of drama surrounding her review, and she later admitted to not wanting to use the brand on her channel ever again because of what happened with Nikkie Tutorials.
I really don't want to do this, but I have to throw a disclaimer out there because I did review a collaboration that Nikkie Tutorials did in the past, and I got more heat on that video than I think I've ever gotten in any video ever, and that was her collaboration with Too Faced. A lot of people were really disappointed in that palette, and I totally understand. I really feel genuinely that there were two different factories that worked on that palette, and that mine may have been better than a lot of other people's. I know that that collaboration, from what I've heard kind of through the grapevine, I did not hear this from Nikkie, but I don't think it was the greatest collaboration. I think there were some shady things going on, and I myself have decided that I'm not putting Too Faced products on my channel anymore. I don't think the company has great ethics. I don't really care for the vibe and what they stand for, and I think their company actually is very two-faced, and I've never come on and said anything negative like that about a brand, but this is the first time that I'm doing it. You guys know I keep it real, and I'm never going to give you a false review.
Nicki had said that she wasn't able to talk about it in 2017, writing on Twitter, "I've been sabotaged from the beginning. There's so many things I want to say, but I can't. I want to, but I can't." Eventually, she did speak out in 2019 once Shane and Jeffree's series did include this tea, and she said, "I signed my contract with Too Faced back then because I was naive and didn't know better. At the end of the day, I signed it. It's my own fault. But what I'll never forgive is that allegedly they changed the palette's quality behind my back, thousands of negative reviews, and I was clueless. I had to see all these negative reviews while the palettes I had were outstanding. They lie in their videos to get views, is what I was told. I don't care about the money, but I had to fight years to prove my authenticity and gain your trust again. Now, this situation is in the past. It was the biggest lesson I ever had to learn, but I'm glad it brought me so much knowledge. I'm thankful to Offer Cosmetics for showing me how it should be done. Glow babes, the future is bright. I have exciting things happening soon. And to any new influencers about to get a collab, get a lawyer and triple check that. Hashtag lesson of the decade." Now, because of this, Jeffree was saying what he was about Too Faced, and even had some words for Mikayla and James Charles as he was talking about all of this.
But what we're not gonna do is go against our morals and try something created by a monster. So I know this is not promoted, that this is the former owner, but we Googled it and we found out. And a lot of people are like, "But Jeffree, Mikayla said this could be a potential wedding foundation." Well, she also had James Charles at her wedding and he admitted to texting minors. So think about the people you support and the company they keep and spend your money where it should belong. Us as consumers need to stop spending money on pieces of shit.
In the comments, people noted that they were shook to hear him call out Mikayla and James, with someone writing, "The scream I let out when you talked about James Charles." And Jeffree said, "Why isn't he in jail yet? I'm confused." But this all ended up getting Jeffree called out by Antonio Garza, who didn't love Jeffree's review and posted this as a response.
Jeffree Star threw 3 bottles of this foundation into the trash can on my For You page yesterday. And personally, this is truly the best foundation I've ever used. I will tell you confidently, this is the best wearing foundation ever for me. I didn't touch this foundation for over a month when I first got it because I thought, why would I use a new foundation? This kind of just looks like a Rare Beauty knockoff to me, packaging wise. But guys, once this entered my face and I saw how it wore throughout the day, I have really oily skin and I have really acne prone skin. And my skin is also dry. I've never been able to find a foundation that like caters to all my needs. I do not understand why Jeffree Star would spend so much money to buy 3 bottles of foundation just to throw them in the trash. 1, that is so wasteful. And 2, don't piss me off. Because I don't care that the brand owner called you a clown. Sorry. I think the reason I'm just feeling so compelled to make this video is because I really do care about people having good product. The fact that I DM'd this brand last week asking for a bottle so that I could review it to tell you guys how like actually good it is. I'm not getting paid. I just want to recommend this.
People in the comments were shook and honestly a little scared for her, wondering what Jeffree might say or do in response to this, writing in the comments saying, "I'm scared for Jeffree Star to see this. Girl, he's gonna come for you." And it did not stop there, as Antonio continued in her video to talk about Jeffree.
There's not really any products where I feel like that's the case, where I just want to be like, guys, this is actually worth your money. Because also, everything is so goddamn expensive these days. Everything is so expensive, like, I don't want to recommend anything. Save your money. We all have makeup at this point. It's almost like a cheap attempt to kind of be like, oh,
People, don't buy that makeup. All you guys do not support a trash human.
when you know damn well that half the people on the internet don't want to buy Jeffree Star cosmetics either. So it's just like beating down, but I'm like, don't focus on other people, focus on yourself. Focus on keeping that ranch going, you know? Focus on the yaks. And I'm just upset because I'm like, don't try to lead consumers elsewhere off of a product that's truly phenomenal. Like, it's actually really good stuff because so many things are so awful these days and not worth your money. Okay, this is the foundation applied. This is what it looks like. Okay, finished makeup look. Guys, get into this. Or don't. I don't really care. Do whatever you want with your money. Maybe just don't buy 3 bottles of this just to throw it in the trash can because it's really wasteful. But also the world's gonna burn anyways, so who really cares? And remember, everything I said in this video is just my opinion. even though my opinion's always right.
Honestly, like I said, this whole thing is just feeling like old times in the beauty community, but just really crazy that we're seeing this all happen right now. I certainly want to know what you guys think about the fact that Jeffree decided to call out Too Faced and also Mikayla and James. And then the fact that he got called out after by Antonio. Do you think that he's going to respond? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.